Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the Greenbridge Community Housing Podcast for Luton South. We're today at the Irish Forum in Luton, Hitchin Road, and we're joined by the CEO, Noelette.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
Good to see you.
Thank you, and very good to see you.
I've brought the sun with me.
Great. Required.
It's needed after all the rain that we've had. It's been insane.
Well, it makes us feel like we're at home because we do get very poor weather in Ireland, but it keeps the grass green, I guess.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. We've come to talk to you about what the Irish Forum is. What it does and what it means to the community. So let's start off with, tell me a little bit of the background of why the Irish Forum was formed and all the great work that it's doing. So tell us why it was formed.
Okay, so almost 30 years ago, a group of like-minded people got together and they decided really that the community needed a voice. They started meeting at the town hall. They were given a room. A few volunteers brought in some Irish papers. There was tea facilities, which is always very important. And it went from there really. They met every Saturday, and then they were told about a facility called the Drill Hall.
I remember it on the bottom of Old Bedford Road.
Yeah.
Just on the coast. It's houses now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Opposite Villa Road.
I think so.
Yeah, I remember it very well because I used to do circuit training there with Ian Hobdale every Monday night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they started running services there. They started running a welfare service. There was what's known as the pre-53 pension, and we identified, or my colleagues identified that there was a need for giving Irish people support to access benefits they were entitled to. So on the back of that, then a welfare service was formed, and they were quite an ambitious group. They started speaking to the council. They were supported by the late Lord Mackenzie, and with some negotiations, they managed to get the land that we're based on, and also support from Connolly Homes, which is now the Connolly Foundation, to create our own centre. Initially, it was built as a one-storey.
That's right, I remember.
But when it was opened by the Minister for Foreign Affairs in Ireland, there was media attention, and people started turning up, and they had to be turned away.
Because there were so many?
Wow. So we started the Wednesday Club because we had too many people for the Tuesday Club. Very creative. And we outgrew the space for the staff because our staff team started growing bigger. We got permission to have a porta cabin at the front, so a few of us were running out of that. And then I asked the trustees would they consider extending the building. They were agreeable. It happened rather quickly. I remember I was on maternity leave with my daughter, who's now almost 18, and started fundraising, got some funding from the Irish government and the Ireland Fund of Great Britain, and unfortunately we had to knock the building and restart because they were quite close to the neighbours and you can only build so high. So we had to actually excavate the area, and we were supported by John Boyle, who is a local community member who really liked what we did. Right. Him and his family made it. They held our hands through the planning process, through getting a centre that we felt that we could really utilise. It's very unusual, the building, that we have a reception on the first floor. Yes. But we wanted the staff team to be, to be able to kind of be beside each other. We didn't want people to be isolated. And then we wanted to take full use out of the ground floor space for a community room, which is fully accessible. And obviously the rest of the building is fully accessible, having a lift. Yes, that's really important, isn't it? Especially for people with disabilities. Yeah.
And that's always a big thing, isn't it? That people with disabilities probably sometimes feel a little bit excluded because access is limited.
Exactly.
And it should be access for everyone.
Exactly.
So that's great.
And I have to say, having disability in my own family, my father's wheelchair bound now.
Right.
You do appreciate how people, it's the difference between being able to access a service or not, and we want to remove all those barriers because if they've had the confidence to come through the doors, we don't want them to have to face barriers that they shouldn't have had to.
Right.
Yeah.
What can people expect when they come through? I know what I experienced, so I'll talk about my experience after. But what can they expect when they walk through the doors of the Irish Forum?
They expect friendly faces, a welcome, hospitality. If we got time, a cup of tea. But I think it's a bit of a one-stop shop. So we have people using the service from, babies right through to people in the 90s. So not just welfare, but social activities, cultural activities. Our recent projects include our youth services. So it's something we're very proud of because we really want to sustain what we do, and we think that it's got to be through bringing in younger people or people younger. Our main cohort till now has been retired folk.
Right.
So we're very keen to kind of grow that, our younger people, and also people who are still working, so making it a bit relevant to them.
Right.
So for example, this week there was a trip to Windsor Races
Oh, nice.
for their Irish night there. So we're trying to not just put things on for the sake of it, but put things on that will truly engage people, but that keeps it, in line with our culture as well.
The mistake that I made was thinking it was just for Irish people. And I'm sure because of the name, but it's not, is it? It's a community here.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the activities and the community engagement that you do here, Noelette.
Yeah. So, it was originally set up for the Irish, but Irish people don't look like they did, 10, 20 years ago. So you've got people who, don't sound Irish, mightn't have a white face, mightn't have the red hair or the freckles. So, we have multicultural Irish community. So we call it Irish Another. So most of our users would still be Irish. But increasingly our groups like our Crafty Cuppa, our art class happens to be running as we speak. They're becoming more and more diverse. So we use the Irish hospitality as a way of engaging.
Nice.
And we like to, I suppose, use that generous leadership to show people that we have, been through that journey. So when we're working with other groups, like our friends from the Sri Lankan Association, like our friends from Sri Guru Ravidas or the Polish community, we have had a very good experience, and we want to show them how we've done it.
Right.
Yes, and then what's happened as a result is that some of those communities have, access the services and continue to access the services.
So what are the main activities that happen here? You do a lot of dancing, don't you, which I love?
Yes. So other than the welfare service, which is a flagship service, and that is mainly to help people get welfare benefits and related housing and debt, and also returning to, for people who are interested in returning to Ireland, we will actually work with Safe Home Ireland, who are a partner of ours, so they have a seamless transition. In terms of the social activities, it runs from Monday morning, which is internet class, through to Crafty Cuppa. Tuesday and Wednesday we have bingo, and then there is after Tuesday we've got the games club. After the Wednesday bingo we've got gentle exercise. Then Thursday we've got a teen chat group, which is like a coffee morning but with presentations around health and wellbeing and other things that might interest or educate our members. We've been involved in consultations, and more recently the move for the Mount Vernon Cancer service so we consult on really important topics. After that, there's line dancing. Friday with baby and toddler group, art class, and then we have a watercolour class. I forgot actually to mention that there's a couple of new activities. So Pilates on a Monday.
Perfect.
And Tai Chi.
A little bit of flexibility.
Yes.
And mind.
Yes.
Calming.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And are these services accessible to everybody in the community?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And we try and do our best to make sure that when we share information, that we keeping it diverse. I mean, it's still, we're still proud that it was set up for the Irish, but
yes,
it's now for everybody.
Yeah. So people that are listening that want to access the services, where can they find information? Is it online, through social media, for all sorts of social, or is there a link, a web link, or something like that?
There's a lot. we like to be contactable. So you can actually turn up. And we have a notice board which has got information about all the services.
Perfect.
We have a what's on. If people can are further away, or they just want to make an inquiry, they can ring up and find out over the phone. So our phone lines are on Monday to Friday, almost all the hours that we're open. We have a website, www.lutonirishforum.org. We have a Facebook, an Instagram page. We've got LinkedIn. Our youth service our youth program have now started their own youth page as well.
Oh wow!
And they're a TikTok as well. So we're getting,
You're getting with the times now.
We are.
You have to, don't you?
Oh yes. Yeah.
I was never a fan of TikTok. I didn't get it. Now I get it. Now I can't stop scrolling, so I limit myself to 10 minutes a day.
Ooh, that's good.
Because you can put a limit on all the... And I think, because you could constantly be scrolling, couldn't you?
Yeah. Yes.
What's the best part of being the CEO of the Irish Forum?
I think seeing people reach their potential is something that's exciting for me. Yesterday, we had a flag raising event. It was the second annual flag raising event for the Irish Travellers, English Romani and Roma community.
Oh, wow.
And that last year, it was the first time that we'd approached the council and they'd agreed. So it's basically flying the Roma flag from the balcony of the town hall, and we created an event around it. Yeah. And last year we had maybe 10 community people participate. Yesterday, about a third of the attendees were from either Irish Travellers, English Romani or Roma community, and they felt their place was solidified. We had the MC was Alana, who's half Irish traveller, half English Romani, and her confidence in terms of and her growth in the year has been immense, and the things that she's been able to get involved in, being included in the Global Irish Civic Forum, spoke at several conferences. It's been amazing, but that's not just the traveller community. It's our volunteers here as well, seeing them come in and feel sometimes, maybe try out clubs, but then they might move into the trustee position, or just see, users who are coming in and they're so upset with whatever they've had to experience, and that you can relieve some of that fear, create that independence and give them kind of a, put them on the straight and narrow, so to speak. So you've seen people's journeys improve from, move forward, whatever that journey is. Yeah, that's what's most exciting.
How many volunteers have you got?
We have regularly 56 in a month.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It is incredible, yeah. It's
people
immense.
giving their time just to help others. That's a lot.
And I think I think some of them, they're as committed as staff members. It's like having all these extra staff. We wouldn't be able to run the services without them. All the social activities rely on volunteers. Some of our core functions, like inputting for our monthly report. So, the numbers of people who attend activities, all that is inputted. Some of our finance functions are done by volunteers.
Wow.
The peak is at St. Patrick's, and at St. Patrick's we had 106 throughout March, but that the peak of that was because of St. Patrick's.
Yeah. How do people volunteer if they want to?
So they just need to either come in, pick up the phone, they fill in a form, and we do vetting. So we will get 2 reference checks, and depending on their role, we will get them. It used to be called a police check, but it's now a disclosure barring check, which is quite simple. But it's to make sure that the people that are here are safe, and continue to be in safe hands.
So how do other communities, because you said obviously predominantly it was built around Irish and the Irish settlement, and everyone's got their own little groups. So how do we ensure that integration happens with other community groups? How do you ensure that happens?
Well, we have 2 ladies who are regularly out in the community. So one of them is called Marion. She is our vice chair, and one of them is called Pauline, who was a trustee and is now an ambassador.
Right.
So an example of how it recently happened is that they were at a DESI, which is a South Asian festival.
Stockwell Park.
That's right. They were at an event, and they hit across the Sri Lankan community, and on the back of that, we invited them in, and we talked about how we could help them and how they could help us as well, because they were doing things that we could learn. So it's around how we could support each other. Another example is when we worked with Sri Guru Ravidas, that was at the temple in central Luton. We went to visit them for lunch. At the end of it, Pauline said how lovely it would be to be able to cook the food. And on the back of that, then the temple started cookery classes. And over the years following, about 100 people from the community were trained up. I think there was mainly eating and talking done, not very much learning.
But it's about community engagement, isn't it? It's not really, food always brings people together.
Exactly. Oh, yes.
So always brings people together. So it's really not about so much the learning, it's about the connection.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is really important, isn't it?
Exactly.
What does 2020, the rest of 20, we're halfway through it now.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
I know.
In February, I was saying, what's 2026 looking like for you, Noelette? And now we're in June. What's the rest of the year looking like for the Irish Forum?
The next couple of big events really is our AGM, which isn't a boring AGM. We try and make it's engaging for our members. It's kind of a day that we're celebrating, our pride, showcasing our services. So we're still in the planning for that. We usually have about 80 people come to that. We also are creating a community-led Gypsy Roma Traveller Conference, and that is being supported by Lloyd's. That's happening next month.
Oh, wow.
And in preparation for that, our traveller group that meets on a Friday evening are actually creating a play with Next Generation Youth Theatre, and it's around barriers to education and how with the right support people can get they can fulfill their dreams. We had some of those young people create vision boards at the beginning, and I'd like to see those vision boards now.
Yeah. That's really, I have one of those at home.
Have you?
Which I start in January, and then I put everything that's going to happen, and then once it happens I take it off and then put something else in its place. I think things like that, it's all very well having it up here, but when you can visually see it, and then take it away, it's a sense of completion and achievement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is great.
Absolutely. But I think for those young people, they haven't had their minds open for the girls being anything else than a wife and someone that cleans the house and cooks the dinner. And that's great if that's what you want.
Yeah.
But they've been shown that they could become an actress. They could go into education. They can be whatever they want to be. And that's really important. So we are being supported as well by Mark Fowler. He's the CEO of the council, and the head of education and the head of health are coming, and they're going to be questioned by community members around services.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Because it's important, isn't it, that when you've got AGMs and groups, you have to be able to engage with the people that can make the change and that can make the difference.
Yes.
If you can't talk to them, it's just a lot of people sitting around talking, isn't it?
Yeah. 100%.
So it's really good that you've got the backing of the big chiefs to help.
Yeah, that's it.
To get the decisions made.
But what was great is how open they were to it.
Good.
So when we set the date, I reached out to Mark Fowler and Paul Wagstaff and Kelly O'Neill, who happened to have, Kelly O'Neill is a Director of Public Health. She'd been in interviewing some of our members around their health and social care needs, and they were really supportive. And what that means for the community is that they feel seen. Yeah. Like they did yesterday when their flag was raised. You know, it's that sense of pride that in your identity, and it's so linked. We see it's been so linked to people's self-esteem. Yeah.
What do you see as the main health issues in Luton at the moment?
I think mental health is becoming a bit of an epidemic.
Why do you think that is, Noelette?
I think probably COVID, whether COVID's responsible or COVID highlighted that. Right. And I think people dealt with a lot of isolation, and it's probably maybe triggered some of that. Hard to say, really. We know that cancer is becoming a bit of an issue. We're very much active in terms of awareness around breast cancer screening, cervical cancer screening and prostate cancer screening. So we are a part of a task group, working closely with public health, particularly around engaging Irish travellers in getting breast cancer screening done. And we actually spoke at a public meeting yesterday, or a national meeting rather, talking about how that can be done more effectively, looking to see where it's been effective. For example, in Ireland, you've got 76% of Irish travellers have actually had a check, whereas here there's no really data at all.
There's no data?
No, none whatsoever.
Is that because they're not attached to a GP surgery, or they are attached, they just don't go, or they get an appointment, and if you're like me, you keep changing the date, which is really awful. So, you know, don't do that. Yeah. But it's something you put off.
Yeah.
We shouldn't, should we?
No, I think it's saying that it's embarrassment is the key reason. Fear is another one, particularly for the Irish travellers. Sometimes it can be the logistics. If you've got children, it's like, what do you do with the children? So we're looking at how we can make it flexible. We're really advocating for outreach, community members, trusted community members, to go out and talk to them about the importance. And we know with a couple of situations more recently, you know, affecting our own community is where, you know, there wasn't a lump. It was just caught as a routine inspection, and then it was found, and by the time it becomes a lump, it might be too late. So it is really important. I think that's the message, isn't it, that when you do get that screening letter, you know, do go, and it is uncomfortable, I'm not going to lie, it is uncomfortable, but it's only for 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes. But I also think what would be great, Noelette, was if they had like you know, like a travelling bus. Yes. Because not everyone can get to the Luton and Dunster. If you're in town and, you know, funds might be low, or you have to go on your own, and it is quite scary in that room.
I'm not going to lie. You sit there, what seems like an age, it isn't. And then she calls you in, and then they do all of this and this and this. And then the lady who's doing the screening has got like a face that goes, oh, and you think, oh, what's that? You know, don't say anything at all. Just laugh. Yeah. But the lady I had was really lovely. She's quite funny. But it's just about maybe having that community bus or something that travels to Hightown, to Stopsley, to Leagrave, to Marsh Farm, to Hotquot. That would engage a lot more people.
I think so. And I think then it becomes like a ripple effect where people have had a good service or they've been caught early, then they can tell their friends about it.
Yeah.
Because probably like within, you know, the West Indian community and the Afro-Caribbean community, word of mouth is really important, and it
is. Yeah. They just don't go. It's more so, the ladies will go, but it's more so for the guys that are listening is the prostate check.
Yeah.
So important. We work really closely, or I work really closely, my husband does, with the Over 50s Black Men Forum that meet in Stockingstone. Is it like Social Club, you know, on Stockingstone Road? They meet there on a Wednesday and Saturday. But on a Wednesday evening, they have a doctor, a qualified doctor. He comes in and he'll do the checks and he'll talk to you about diabetes and prostate, etc. So it's a really good club for those that feel that they need something a little bit more personal rather than going to a GP. So that's another outlet. But that's only just one. It's only covering one particular part. But it is about the word of mouth, the knowledge, the understanding, and just knowing it's literally a 10-minute check.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually hosted the Rotary Club doing checks here last November.
A good idea.
And I think there was 51 men signed up, which I was quite surprised about, that there was such a good uptake.
Yeah.
But we weren't really expecting that. But I think out of that, there was 10% of them had positive results, and 2 of them were urgent out of that. So 5 came back with positive results, 2 being urgent. So it just showed to me, you know, had they not had that check, what their prospects could be like.
Could have been, yeah. So with regard to you personally now, how do you motivate yourself to, because you've been here for 20
years next month.
20 years next month, I remember that. How do you motivate yourself to come in every day? Do you need to?
No.
Nah, that's the question. I should have asked that first.
No, I don't. No, I think what's been good is that we've changed so
much.
Yeah, we've changed over the years. Nicola McLaughlin, who leads the welfare service, is the longest serving member of staff, and then May, and then Pat, who is our cleaner caretaker. He was a trustee when I started, but he's technically here longer than me as well, and is now a staff member. I think from where we've gone, we've been to where we're going now is completely changed. But I think what's been great is we have an extremely good board. It's changed over time. It's quite diverse. We've got people from the community. We've got our volunteers on it who come in and run some of the activities. We've got people from finance, legal backgrounds, and they really help us stay focused, think about kind of key issues like keeping our funding strong. So I think, and being able to try new things like creating events, putting on exciting new services, that kind of keeps everyone involved. And I think having, been given the opportunity by the community to host St. Patrick's as well. It's extremely tiring, but it's extremely motivating as well, and that's a kind of a whole team effort.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that we all look forward to, even though it's
exhausting.
And it's a bit like having a baby, where it's painful at the time, but then as soon as the baby happens,
you forget about the pain. Do you ever forget?
No,
you don't. You do. when you hold the baby, and then when they grow up and they start getting cheeky, you're like,
But then when you see the photographs, you think, oh, it was grand. I don't know what the stress was.
No, I don't know what it was about. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
It's been lovely to talk to you. Thank you for sharing all of the great things that the Irish Forum are doing. We're looking forward to being involved and connecting with you and working in partnership with you. Any projects that we'll discuss later on. But yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you very much.